Cleveland looking for the 3-0 lead as we come to you from the Q Quicken Loans Arena in Cleveland. Welcome to TNT NBA Tip-Off presented by Auto Trader. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith, and Charles Barkley. Look, there's no way you can sugarcoat what we got going on here. This is a one-way series so far for Cleveland, and then Boston loses its best player.
Well, but they do, Ernie, you know, they've been down two. They've lost 2 games.
So now you're trying to sugarcoat.
What? You can't even say that.
They lost 2 games at home to the Bulls. Came back and won that.
You're getting borderline disrespectful.
No, he's past disrespect.
No, let me just say this. Ernie, this to me is just about pride, self-esteem. They've been humiliated. They wear the Celtics on the front of their jersey, man. They're right there with the Lakers. That's the greatest organization in NBA history. They got to show some pride, Ernie. You can't be down 40 points at halftime in a game. That's just not the Celtics way.
Chuck, well said, but that ain't going to help them tonight. McHale ain't out there. Bird ain't out there.
They're not walking through that door.
Listen, with Isaiah going down, it's just, it just confirms what we already know. They're not going to win this series. They'll probably get swept. Cleveland is a better team. They came in focused.
And I'm not talking about, first of all, they're going to lose the series and they're going to get swept. But, Shaq, you can't.
There's got to be a way to go out.
Yeah, you can't be down 40 points at halftime.
At home.
The one thing is, there was a talent disparity between the two teams. And now
is that why you picked the Celtics?
No, I did. I said it was going to make it difficult. But the only thing that questioned.
What are you doing now?
Is at halftime if we're going to be playing Scrabble.
Oh, jeez.
Or we're going to be playing Monopoly.
No.
Because hey, I want that.
One of the two.
I want the horse thing.
You guys are the former players.
This is only
taking that.
Ernie, what are we going to say at halftime when they're down at 41 the other night? What are we going to do?
Yeah, I know. Hey, let me for those who do not know the story of Isaiah Thomas, he originally hurt his hip on March 15th. This in a game against Minnesota in Boston. And then he aggravated the injury in Game 6 of the Eastern Conference semifinals against Washington and played through it. And then in Game 2 of the Eastern Conference Finals the other night, you could tell by the way he was gingerly making his way around the floor that something wasn't right. When the word came down yesterday, he is out for the rest of this postseason. And so, down 2-0, losing by 44 in your gym, and now going on the road to take on the world champs, down 2-0.
What I'm surprised more than anything, Ernie.
Let's get to David Aldridge, and we'll get back to you. DA, what you got?
Well, EJ, obviously very long odds for the Boston Celtics. They will start Marcus Smart at the point tonight. He has started many games for this team over the last 3 seasons, 24 this season. But look, the odds, as I said, are daunting. They lost 2 games at home. They lost home court advantage. The chances of winning 2 here are minute, but they have to win Game 3 to have any chance. Yet Brad Stevens knows that with those long odds, it's very difficult when you lose your all-star player.
I wasn't surprised on Friday night that it sounded like he probably was going to be done for the remainder of the season. And then I did spend some time, communicating with him yesterday. He's down. I mean, that kid wants to play through anything, and that's one of his greatest qualities.
Now, Stevens went on to say that this team is at its best when Marcus Smart is getting deflections, taking charges, grabbing rebounds. He needs Marcus Smart to be a leader tonight and not someone just taking the place of this team's best player, EJ.
All right, thank you very much, DA. Now, Kenny, you have the floor.
I'm just surprised a little bit that Isaiah isn't here. You know, I know his hip is hurting, but I would expect, the guys.
Well, a labrum tear in your hip. I mean, I can see that might inhibit travel.
Really? I didn't know. I'm just checking.
Labrum tear.
I'm telling y'all something tonight. I'm going out on a limb.
Go out on the limb.
This game will be competitive tonight.
Wait. When you say competitive, there's degrees of competitive. When you say the weather is bad, there's degrees of weather.
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
This will be a 10-point game.
Wow.
The Celtics going to have some pride. I think they know they're not going to win the series. They're going to be freed up. They got nothing to lose. I'm telling you, I might be wrong, but I think the Celtic pride is going to show up tonight, and they're going to make this game competitive.
Meantime, on the Cleveland side, Shaq, J.R. Smith is saying, look, I know the home crowd's going to be there. They're going to be amped up, going to be ready to go, going to be better than 20,500 here. He said, we got to make sure we bring it. So, I mean, how much of a concern is just complacency and being flat when you've had such an easy ride so far?
I'm not really concerned. I think they know what's at stake. Chuck mentioned this the other day. They are keeping an eye on Golden State. Golden State has not lost. They definitely don't want to lose. They're going to come in there and take care of business tonight. No messing around.
Well, I have to agree with Shaq. I think that we is he, and that's LeBron James. His mental fortitude in his playoffs has been unparalleled. I can't imagine that he won't come out ready, and he won't allow his team to come out not ready, because the ultimate mission seems to be the Golden State Warriors and the NBA Finals.
I'll tell you one thing that's going to help the Celtics tonight, Ernie, is they're going to have to spread that ball around a lot. You know, Isaiah's their best player by far, and they kind of rely on him probably too much.
Who's the guy that's going to come in and score tonight, Chuck?
I think Bradley's got to play well. I think Smart's got to play well. I think Al Horford's got to pick it up. They all going to have to chip in. First of all, let me get something straight.
Please do.
They're going to get swept. Let's get that out of the way.
Okay.
But I'm saying.
But you think a 10-point game, which would be a lot more competitive than
because
game 2 was.
Ernie, that was the most. We talked about it.
That was an embarrassing game.
I've never seen an NBA game where a team, especially not deep in the playoffs, when you're down 41 at halftime. At home. And I think the Celtic pride will show up, and we all got pride, man.
Yeah, I agree that these prideful players, you know, we're kind of joking and having fun with the fact that because they lost by 40. But the other part of that is, I'm not sure, Chuck, if they had the ability to score the basketball. So that's the part that would worry me more than anything. And I looked at San Antonio last night, and they played with pride. They played hard, and they still lost by 18 points, 19 points.
And
that's
at home.
At home.
And let me tell you something. That's what I think going to happen tonight. The Celtics going to play with pride, and they're going to be jumping all over the place. They're going to lose by double digits, but this game's going to be competitive.
Well, it's getting less and less competitive the more you talk about it. Meantime, when you saw LeBron James there, and as if he needs any more fuel for his fire, apparently the other night after the game is when he was notified that he was not in the top 3 in the MVP voting, and his only response was 4th, huh? And so that kind of has become a bit of a slogan here in Cleveland. 4th, huh? As if he needs more fuel.
Well, LeBron is the type of player you can have him in that conversation all year. He's already won, 4 or 5? Can't win them all. If I was him, I would be upset too, but I would show it on the court. He's been showing it on the court. They haven't lost a game yet, and he's on a mission again this year to bring it back to the land 2 times in a row.
There's no doubt about it. He's the best player in the NBA, but he was the 4th best season.
Regular season vote.
He had the 4th best regular season. He's the best player, but he had the 4th best regular season.
But in fairness, though, that was just stupidity on the NBA's part, even TNT's part for hosting that show. You got to invite 5 people. You got to make an exception. You can't have the best player in the world not there. Right. That's just stupidity on the NBA part.
Well, okay, let's move on.
Don't say TNT. I work there too, so you act like I'm part of the stupidity.
When we come back,
you are definitely part of the stupidity.
We're going to take a look at LeBron, even going back several years, and compare this playoff performance.